So we've had a chance to really review the process our industry has used to guide employers to decisions. Talked about the fact that we've been using technology that was never designed for that and is woefully outdated. What's really important in this discussion about the renewal process is how employers view this. So we really had the time to research the employer view of this renewal process our industry has given them. We had a chance to work with dozens of employers, one-on-one sessions, blind focus groups, surveys, and really got them to tell us what they thought needed to be improved with the process that we use to guide them to decisions. And it didn't take long in this process to really uncover the fact that employers are universally frustrated with the way we guide these decisions. And that's a big starting point, really understanding that the process that may have served us for the last few decades, really admitting that this is not something that employers look forward to and that there's room for improvement. That's really what we're getting at when we start to talk to employers. So the good news is they like us. They like the people, and we're very complimentary when discussing the people associated with the decision-making process. But once we focus that conversation on the process itself, that paper, spreadsheet driven, multi meeting process, it is very easy to get employers to tell you about their frustration with that. You know, there are actually employers that talked about this being the worst part of their job. So that's really the important piece is by moving to what we call dynamic plan design. It's really all about your employer clients. It's really why you're investing in this technology is to take a process that employers find troublesome and make it easier for them. And we're really giving employers what they told us they wanted. So, you know, it's hard to really gauge, you know, how frustrated employers are, but we are get access to success stories all the time. And we have a number of success stories that really highlight how frustrated employers are in this process, to the point where this is really making a difference when they're evaluating the agencies that they're working with, the ability to give them a decision-making process around this major decision that really fits with how they like to analyze information and make those decisions is playing in to who they choose to be their broker or agent. We recently had a producer at a new agency that had just gone through the video tutorials that you'll get a chance to go through and build out our sample employer case study. We didn't even have a first live training session, and they were able to contact an employer that they had a friendly relationship with, had been trying to get the broker record letter for 5 years and had not been able to pull it away from the incumbent. And after building out the sample group as part of the initial training, called the employer and said, I know how frustrated you are with this process. Our agency has invested in technology that's really going to make a difference and change everything. Can you give me 30 minutes to come show you what this looks like? And just by taking that sample case and being able to model alternate contribution scenarios and solve plan designs to budgets and modify health reimbursement arrangement assumptions on the fly, was able to pick up that broker record letter on a 45 life group the next day. So it really demonstrates just how frustrated employers are, that by being able to give them a better way to get to decisions, it's definitely influencing the ability to write new business by Dynamis agencies. So once again, as a starting point, we really need to get buy-in that the process that we've used has been flawed. So in the next session, we're going to talk about the idea of what Dynamis really represents in terms of how we're able to give employers a decision-making process that they told us they were looking for. So we know employers are frustrated with the process. So what is it that they said they were looking for? Well, if we take a look at all the feedback, we can really summarize it into 3 categories. They said that the process needs to be simplified. There are just too many spreadsheets, too many details, too many meetings. It's just very cumbersome and needs to be simplified. Along with that is the idea of speed. We're in a Google age now where there's an expectation we can answer anything in seconds. But when questions arise like, how are families impacted if we change our contribution strategy? Or what's our financial impact if we restructure our deductible HRA? Anytime there's a question asked that we don't have a specific spreadsheet ready to model the answer for, every time we have to go back to the office, make more spreadsheets, and come back, we lose what we call decision momentum. And we'll talk about that through training. How important it is when employers have questions, when they ask those what if, being able to show them how those answers impact not just their companies, but employees, and be able to keep the decision-making process moving forward is a big part of what we're able to bring to the table. And that ability to answer things in real time is what allows us to keep that decision momentum. And ultimately, employers said, look, we're looking for people to get to know our company, our culture, our employees, and really help guide us in this complicated market towards plans that make sense, not just to our company from a financial perspective, but make sense for our employees as well. So that really represents what employers said they were looking for in terms of improvement of the process. And that's really what we're going to allow you to give them with Dynamis. So now that we have a better understanding really what that renewal process looks like, and more importantly, employers' view of that and their frustration, this is really what we're talking about moving away from. Moving away from a generic application that was never intended to do what we ask of it every day. Moving away from an element of crossing our fingers and hoping all of our calculations work out to a platform that was specifically designed around this process. We look at other areas of our industry that have been improved by technology just recently. We've got benefit admin systems, we've got online enrollment and online exchanges and benefit portals and online wellness, and almost every area has been improved by technology. But arguably the most important role we play with our clients, guiding them through that renewal process, we're still using technology that's around before smartphones, before emails, before the internet. 1993 is when Windows-based Excel came out, and in essence, it's the same technology that we're using today. So before we dive in and start learning how to use the solution, it really is important to understand that this is not about automating the same old renewal process. This represents change, and change can be difficult. It's going to take some work on our part, especially change from something we've done the same way for so long. So understand that Dynamis is really about re-engineering the whole way we guide employers to decisions. But it's re-engineered from the employer perspective to allow you to really give your clients a renewal experience that's better, to really show them that there is a better way to do this. And along the way, that's going to allow you to differentiate yourselves from your competitors that are still walking in using 3-ring binders and spreadsheets. So as we move forward, we're going to be looking at a new way to guide employers to decisions, and we're giving it a well-needed technology upgrade, bringing it up to today's standards as well.